guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought it would be a lot of fun to discuss some of my favorite books that I think would translate really well into a movie. I did try to make this list a little diverse, and so I have a few book series, I have a few standalones, I have like dystopian, science fiction, some romance, so I just kind of tried to pick some of my favorite books in like different genres that I think would do really well as a movie or maybe even like a TV show or like a mini series. Anyways, let's just get started. The first series I want to talk about is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Now this is the book series that supposedly is being turned into a TV show and which is going to be done by Hulu. We don't have too much information about it just yet. I don't think they've started casting yet, which I'm really intrigued to see who they're gonna cast as Selena. That's actually a great thing to comment down below. Let me know who you think would make an excellent Selena. And just to give you a quick synopsis about this series, we follow our main character Selena, and she is the world's greatest assassin, and we pretty much follow her journey as an assassin and trying to gain her freedom because she gets imprisoned, and there's magic and great characters. This series is so good. I'm actually happy that they're making a TV show instead of a movie on Throne of Glass. I typically enjoy more book to movie adaptations than book to TV show adaptations, but so much happens. There is so much detail. We have really important like different point of views and a lot of like there's so much action that happens in this series that I think having a TV show will really give the story justice, and we can have more detail and we can really dive more into each character's like point of view. So I am really excited about that. I almost died when I learned that Throne of Glass is being turned into a TV show. Like, this is probably, next to Harry Potter, one of my favorite series. The next series I have is the Leviathan series by Scott Westerfeld. This is a trilogy, and I think these books could be fantastic as movies. This is a young adult historical fiction steampunk based with World War I, and we follow our two main characters, Darren and Alec. Darren is a girl pretending to be a boy so that she can enlist in the British Air Force, and Alec is a prince of, I think it's Hungary, and he is basically on the run from his own people. I love the steampunk element to this book, so I think the movies could have such cool costumes, and I think we could have a lot of really cool special effects as well, because the British use these genetically fabricated beasts. Like Leviathan is a flying whale, and then the Germans are using like war machines, and so it could just be so cool. This series has everything. It has some sad moments, some happy moments, some really cool moments, but I think just the whole historical fiction of World War I mixed in with steampunk could make these movies so great. The next book series I have is Across the Universe by Beth Revis. This is also a trilogy. In this book we follow our two main characters. The first character is Amy, and she is from, I guess, present day, and she is cryogenically frozen on a spaceship, Godspeed, with her parents, and they are flying to a new planet 300 years in the future to colonize this new planet. Now, along the journey, Amy gets unfrozen 50 years too early, and then she meets Elder, who is training to be the leader of Godspeed, and both of them together basically have to figure out like all the different secrets that are happening on Godspeed. The story is very surprising. There's so many things that happen that you're not expecting. Like important people die, secrets get revealed, there are twists and turns, and I think it could just keep the audience so captivated that it would just make Such a fantastic movie. Next, I have The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. This series is so special and so unique. It's a 4-book series and they're retellings of fairy tales. And we follow Cinderella, Scarlet, which is Little Red Riding Hood, Snow White, Winter, which is actually book 4, and Rapunzel, Crest, which is book 3. This story is so unique and very intricate. We have like a main overall plot, but then we also have many individual plots in between. The entire book is the conflict of the princess, but then we also have like the main conflict of the entire series. And so I think these would actually make really, really good mini-series. That way we could see, like, spend more time on each different princess's like point of view, and we can get a lot of the detail. There is a lot of action and suspense, and there's really cute romance, but there's also really badass action scenes. It is just really, really cool. There's science fiction, it's whimsical at time. It's just, overall, it is a great series. Next, I have Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I know I said I was trying to keep it a little diverse, but I'm realizing that I'm like pretty much on like science fiction and series right now. Oh, except for Throne of Glass. That's fantasy, but it's already being translated into TV show, so. Anyways, I really loved this book, and I think this would make a really, really good movie. And actually, I haven't read Gemina yet, but in Illuminae, we follow our 2 main characters, Caddy and Ezra, and their planet gets invaded by this warship, and so they are able to escape on these other ships that come to their rescue, but they're still being pursued by this warship. There's also a lot of other things that is happening on board, and more particularly with the artificial intelligence of like the spacecraft. So not only do we have like an external conflict, like the warship trying to attack them, there's a lot of internal within like the spacecraft that rescued Caddy and Ezra. There's a huge conflict there. I think it could be a really, really cool movie if it's done right. So this book itself is really cool. It's written in like diagrams, video footage, schematics, emails, and so I think we could have like really cool flash forwards and flashbacks, and maybe it could show like video footages. Like if they tried to keep the movie close to how the book was written, like as far as the cool features, I think it could be really, really cool. I think it would be really tricky. It would have to be executed right. Like it could fail pretty badly, or it could just be really, really cool. Okay, so moving away from like space element, next I have another series, and that is The Unbecoming of Myra Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. This one I think could be really excellent if once again it is done well, and I think it could be a really good psychological thriller. We follow our main character Mara, and she is involved in a tragic accident that kills her best friend, and she wakes up in the hospital not remembering what happened and like how the accident happened. And so her family, they decide to move her to, I want to say California, I don't know. They move somewhere to kind of get Mara away from like her PTSD, but really she just escalates into more PTSD in this new place. She ends up meeting this mysterious, handsome British boy named Noah, but Mara is pretty much losing her mind. And what's really cool about this story is that we are in her head. This book is written in first person. We're seeing what Mara is seeing. So we don't really know if she's crazy or if someone is making her out to believe she's crazy. And this series could just be a really, really, really cool psychological thriller. The next book I have is The Diviners by Libba Bray. Now, I loved the concept of this book. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did. I loved the setting in New York in the 1920s. We follow our main character, Evie, and she is shipped from her really conservative hometown to New York City to live with her uncle because she keeps getting herself into trouble. In New York, she pretty much just discovers that this is the life for her. There's dancing and there's music, and she is loving it. But Evie has a secret. She has a supernatural power that when she touches an object that belongs to a person, she's able to tell like their secrets. And when a bunch of gruesome murders start happening in New York, Evie learns that she can find the killer by touching the different objects that belonged to the murder victims. Now, this book is a series. I didn't like Lara Dreams as much as I did The Diviners, so I think that The Diviners could be made into a really, really good standalone movie. I really liked the idea of the story. Plus, I think that we could have like amazing costumes and accents. Just New York City in the 1920s I think would be really, really cool. So the movie may have to be tweaked just a little bit in order to not leave on such a big cliffhanger, but I think it could be done. I really think that the idea and the like premise of this story could be translated really well into a movie. The next book series I have is The Legend Trilogy by Marie Lu. This is one of my favorite dystopian trilogies or dystopian series. Lately they're all trilogies, but dystopian series. It has its own unique story, and I think it could do really, really well as a movie. We follow our two main characters, Day and June. So June's brother gets murdered one day, so the government recruits her because her brother worked for the government, and they know how smart June is, so they recruit her in order to find her killer. And then on the other side we follow Day, and he is a fugitive. Their story ends up crossing paths, and just really, really cool stuff happens. I really like this story. There's also a plague that is going on in the book as well. So I think for a dystopian series, it is original. It has an original story, and I think it would make a really good movie series. The next book is a standalone, and that is The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black. Now, this book, I really, really liked it. It is a standalone about vampires. Our main character, Tana, she wakes up one morning from a party, and everyone at the party was murdered by vampires. When she wakes up, she comes across a vampire. She also learns that her ex-boyfriend did survive the party, but he was infected. Now, in this world, people know that vampires exist, and vampires are quarantined to these prisons called cold towns, and once you enter, it is near to impossible to leave. So Tana tries to find a way to save her ex-boyfriend and this mysterious vampire boy, and so she takes them, both of them, into a cold town. And in this cold town, so many crazy things happen. Got some romance, there's some action scenes, there's some kind of violent, gruesome scenes as well. Overall, just a really, really good book, and I think it would make a really good movie. Next, I have Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Now, this book would just make a really cute, maybe romantic comedy. So our main character, Kath, she writes fan fiction for her favorite book series, Simon Snow, which is pretty much our equivalent of Harry Potter. And her twin sister are going off to college, but her twin sister decides that she does not want to room with her. So Kath is going to college on her own, going potluck with her roommate, who is very, very different from her. And her roommate has a best friend named Levi, and Levi is like the cute love interest boy in this story. And Kath just has to learn to overcome being shy and be independent. This book is so good. It is the cutest, like a heartwarming book. There's a lot of important issues. I love the relationship between Kath and her father, and then Kath and her sister Ren, and then of course there's a really cute like Kath and Levi, and then Kath and her roommate. I think this book could do really, really well as a movie, and of course it would appeal more to the younger female population, but I think it would be so, so cute. Alright guys, well that is it for this video. Let me know some of the books that you think would be adapted really well into a movie and who you would cast as Selena. I am like racking my brain through actresses right now and I'm not sure who I would want to cast as Selena. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and I will see you next time in another video. Bye!